Do we have some more questions from the audience? Hemant, you're always full of questions.
Yeah, I have a few comments, Dr. Raghunadharao has, highlighted some of the pain which we feel, when a treatment is available in the country and we can't give it to the patient. If the treatment is not available, then okay, it's science for you. You feel the medicine is not available. But if it is available and because of cost considerations, the patient can't access it, then it's very, very painful for the treating clinician. And this compulsory licensing, which Dr. Raghunath Rao mentioned, and which happened for several molecules in India, particularly sorafenib for hepatocellular carcinomas way back, I think 15 years back. Maybe physicians across the world could lobby for that. And in that situation, the local manufacturer, with the permission of the innovator, manufactures the molecule and sells it at a little higher price, but not at the price of the innovator, and pays a royalty to the innovator company, which is significantly less than what they would make if they sell it in the country. But still, the medicine gets available and accessible to a very large number of patients who really truly need it. So I think that is one aspect which needs a very careful thought. And again, I think it's been a very good program, excellent cases bringing out some very practical problems and issues, and fantastic response from the regional and the international experts. I had significant knowledge gain, so thank you, everybody.
Raghu.
Uh, yes, we did it for HIV drugs in India. Uh, we did a compulsory licensing for all the HIV drugs. We did it for the hepatitis drugs in India. So it's not as if we are doing it only for oncology drugs. Several other classes of drugs and groups of drugs for other diseases have also been compulsorily licensed because the state felt there is a vast public health issue in accessing drugs from abroad and using them in India. So we can definitely do that, but provided the international community and perhaps ICMLF also supports us. Yes, we have the wherewithal to produce these drugs. As I assured you, yes, we know how to produce these drugs. But the compulsory licensing and the very long drawn court battles are what worries us quite a lot.
There are lots and lots of messages coming up in the chat, and I'm getting confused about what's been coming from whom and being addressed or not. But let me just say, what's your take in the case of haplo-match donor and CML with blast crisis after achieving remission with D3A7? And I'm not sure who that's coming from. Dr. Khan, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would like to extend my gratitude to International CML Foundation for such a nice discussion about real-world cases from India. And I serve in the largest transplant center of Pakistan, and we have the same real-world problems. So first of all, I'm very thankful to ICMLF. I attended preceptorship program as well. Thank you, Arlene, and thank you, Nicola, for arranging this program. So I have one comment and one question. The comment is about regularity of taking TKIs. So we have a support group. We tell the patients to set alarm in their mobile for taking TKI. Might it be imatinib, nilotinib, dasatinib, ponatinib, or asciminib. It has a great impact upon molecular remission of these diseases. And the question is from the experts, Professor Charlie, Professor Mhairi, Professor Malhotra, and Professor Raghu. So what is your take? We have few children in pediatric CML who have haplo-match donor. So there was an era in last decade when the transplant was much cheaper than TKIs. So we used to take every chronic phase to transplant. But now with the Novartis Oncology Access Program, we have access to first and second generation TKI and fourth generation asciminib as well. So if a child of 5 or 6 years old has haplo-match donor, we know there's a great GVHD risk in haplo transplants. So would you like to continue with asciminib without having molecular remission and low IS PCR-BCR-ABL, or would you like to recommend haplo transplant? Thank you.
I'll maybe jump in because our centre, I'm not a pediatric transplant consultant, but within our adult population, we have done a couple of haplo transplants for patients with blast phase CML, and they've had a good outcome.
Yeah, if you look at the AML literature, the results with haplo are the same or sometimes a little bit better. And particularly with adults, it's often use this word, but it's been a blessing because essentially everybody has a donor and everyone has a donor that's almost immediately accessible. There are issues that are different with haplo than with fully matched, but the results are approximately the same. And if a patient needs a transplant, I wouldn't do it in chronic phase, obviously, in someone who's responding well. But if a patient needs a transplant and the haplo is all you have, then I think it's perfectly acceptable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maureen. Any last comments, last questions? Otherwise, thank you very much, Maureen. And I think that's nicely taken us up to our time for the end of this session, I'm afraid. Thank you very much, Professor Mhairi Copland, Professor Charlie Schiffer, Professor Raghu Digumarti, and Assistant Professor Stalin Bala Chowdary for your excellent cases, for your insight, your wisdom, and to all of you audience members for your participation and contribution. If there are any more questions arising from this discussion that you haven't brought up today, please just send them to me in an email and I'll get back to you with a response from one or more of our experts straight away. And we hope to see you again soon. The third discussion will be on Wednesday, the 27th of September, and the topics will be treating CML in children and young people and the impact of CML on pregnancy and fertility, which is clearly such a hot topic at the moment in this context. And again, as you can see, what a great team of experts we have lined up to lead those discussions. So please join us for them, and I will email you links to register for those sessions as soon as I can. And as Nicola said, for those of you who are Mumbai based or who are going to the India Cancer Congress in Mumbai, we'd love to see you at one or more of the 3 meetings that we're organizing there. So please get in touch and we can make that happen. We hope to see you online too. If you aren't already familiar with the ICMLF Knowledge Centre, I'd strongly suggest that you go and check it out. There is literally a wealth of information in there with dedicated modules on TFR from the laboratory, pediatric CML, management practicalities, CML therapy, managing advanced phase CML, which is launched just very recently, and Mhairi was the co-chair of that particular module, and a pregnancy module, which is coming very soon. If you really want to keep up to date with what's new in CML, please check out our website and sign up for the ICMLF newsletter. And if you do that, we'll send you papers of the month and keep you up to date with meetings, webinars, links to summaries of conferences, discussions, and so on. Also on the website, you can engage with our interactive case discussion forum where we take difficult or interesting cases to the key experts in the field for advice or commentary. Or you might like to join our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whichever one of those you prefer to engage with. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much for being a part of this discussion. And I hope very much to see all of you again on 27 September. And hopefully some of you on November the 3rd in Mumbai too.